Hello, I'm Doug Bell and this is the Hot Rod Show. Come on down and see what we got for you tonight. It's going to be one of the noisiest shows we have. Come on, Eric, start this up. Also on the show tonight, we go to the North Shore and the Renegade Rod and Custom Club. Plus, we talk to Daniel from Online Logistics about importing your dream car from the US. And our shed visit uncovers this gorgeous handmade 32 8C Monza Alfa Romeo. Hey everybody, on the Hot Rod Show tonight we're going to talk about cars that make a lot of noise, and we're going to talk about husbands and wives that have cars like this. So, Braden, what do you think about this thing, eh?
Hey Doug, I'm really excited about today's show, especially about this Plymouth Barracuda. You know what a Barracuda is, Doug?
It's a fish, Braden.
It's a fast fish.
Fast fish?
Yeah. But how about we talk to the owner, Marion, eh?
Yeah.
We'll give Marion a round of applause.
Hi.
Hey Marion, how you doing?
Hi, Doug. Good, thank you.
Well, here's your lovely car, and it was our mother's car of the week. You know, it's a lovely shiny car, but if you could just run us through it a little bit, because there's a lot of wives that are going to be watching, and a lot of wives like to know if car wives know anything about cars too.
Okay, well the car's had a complete makeover really. It was a 1968 Plymouth Barracuda fastback car. It was a 6-cylinder car, so it didn't have a V8 motor in it, and it didn't look anything like this. It was burgundy in colour, pretty dusty and dirty, but my husband decided he knew exactly how he wanted it to look, and I chose the colour and we started off with that. The car went down to Rotorua and got put into a huge acid bath, which strips it right back, takes all the paint off it, makes sure there's completely no rust.
It would get like every little wee nook and cranny, you know, and just, I mean, all you would get back is just steel in it,
yeah,
really.
the bare shell, bare bones. When I first got the car, I went round the block and that was all I could do. Here it took the keys off and it was whipped down.
You took the keys off, yeah?
Yeah, it was gone.
What, forcibly, or did you hand them over reluctantly?
Well, I quite like the old classics myself, but yeah, no, it looks great now.
What was it like with a 6-cylinder though? You know, you drove it round the block, you got that much of a drive, was it?
Nothing like what it is
Nothing
now.
like what it is, I know, we're going to get into that. It's something else.
So everything on it is either brand new or reconditioned. And being in the business helps, so we're able to do this project ourselves.
Yeah, like the engine especially, you know.
Yeah, the engine especially.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a look at that in a minute. But
well, how about we walk around your car, Marion, and you can tell us a little bit about how long the build took and...
Yeah, the build took 4 years. My husband's extremely fussy, and he took the keys, as I say, off me when he stripped the car down, and it took me a long time to get the keys back to even have a drive once it was finished.
How about we get the camera in here and have a look at the inside? Wow.
Check that dash out.
Yeah, the dash was sent back to America to be completely restored. It's got all the original gauges and everything in it.
I like the way you can see all that paint, you know, because orange is a beautiful colour on this car, but you know, you can see all the paint out, you know, in between the door skins and that, and the back seats and that, you know. That's just some pretty cool shapes in there, you know.
Yeah, no, it did. It came up really well. It's got a little bit of gold pearl in it, and when it gets out in the light, it really stands out. Gold
pearl, yeah. Who did you paint?
Local paint shop in West Auckland did the paint.
What's their name?
Profile Auto Body.
Profile Auto Body.
Yeah.
Wow, they did a pretty good job, didn't they? Worthy of a mother's car polish.
So what size tyres do you have on the back here, Marion? Because they're wider than Doug.
They're actually the same size tyres on here. It's T-bucket. The car's been what you call tubbed to get those big wheels under there. And
being tubbed.
Yeah. I'm tubbed out. I'm about 2 inches tubbed.
We've only taken out a little bit of the back seat, so there's not very much that's actually been taken out there. You can still fit 3 people comfortably in the back.
How about we have a look underneath, eh?
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Doug?
Yeah, this is a pretty amazing car. We're going to start it up in a bit, Braden. Right.
A lot of people are actually really curious about this car, and we see a lot of people sitting down here trying to look in to see actually what is under there.
Yeah, it's a pretty big scoop.
Yeah.
Wow. Mopar performance. What size is the engine?
It's a wedge engine, which is a 400 bored out to a 496 cubic inch with 6-pack carburetor set up.
So that's 3 2-barrels, if anyone's not sure of that.
Wow.
Wow. But like, yeah, 396 is that's quite a bit of horsepower, isn't it?
It is. It's a very easy car to drive. It's not too much of a handful to drive, and it's really enjoyable to drive, and you've definitely got the power.
You've got 2 electric fans on the radiator there. That, like, around town driving, what's that like?
No problem at all. It cools the engine really well.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems at all. Can sit. We were at the beach shop recently, and there was a big queue, and we sat for a long time, and the car was just great, really good.
Well, and I know the fuel consumption, like with every hot rod, is adequate.
Yeah, well, it has a gear vendor's overdrive, which is on the back of the transmission, which gives better fuel economy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Out on the road, it looks quite aggressive.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that's good.
It sounds aggressive too. How about we put the bonnet down, Marion, and give her a start up?
No problem.
That's pretty nice, isn't it?
It is, it's cold.
That's just the right sound with the traffic lights too.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's beautiful, Marion.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Marion.
Fast fish.
Thanks for bringing your car along, Marion.
That's all right, you're welcome.
Awesome to meet you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Marion.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's been lovely. Here we are at the Renegade Rod and Custom Club show. These are a great bunch of people, you know. They are fundraising for everyone all year round, and now it's their turn. Good on you guys, you're just fantastic. There was a great turnout too, about 80 cars I think I counted. Look at that, 1934 3-window coupe. Man, you could lick this thing, it's so sweet. Now check this paint job out. Look at this. Justin, what a sweet car you've got, man. Hey, and look at what I found. An F100 on our title sequence. Well, how about that? Hey everybody, here I am with Daniel from Online Logistics, and onlinelogistics.co.nz is a company that imports cars from America, Japan, Australia, England, wherever you want them. We're going to mainly concentrate on cars that come from America. So, hey Daniel, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great you're here, man, because we have a lot of people who watch the show who aren't, you know, they don't really know what to do about getting a car. And a lot of them, you know, would like a car. So we have a couple of cars that you're showing us on your laptop here, the couple of cars you've brought in.
Yep.
One, and it's very good. One's a hot, real rat rod style. And then we have a classic car.
Yeah, an Impala.
Yeah. So you're bringing in a lot of cars like this. What we want to do, like on the series, on each episode from here on in, is show you people out there exactly how much it costs to bring a car in, or give you a fairly good idea. All the problems you're going to come up against, and all the problems that Daniel's going to solve for you, because Daniel's in the business of solving problems when you're trying to bring a car into the country. Right.
And there's lots of problems. And
there's lots of problems. Yeah. What are some of the common issues that are raised? Like I'm just a Kiwi guy. I'm sitting at home. I'm looking at a car show on TV, and I see like a '66 Impala. I think, wow, I'd like to have a car like that one day. What do I do from this point on?
Yeah, we can help you find a car.
Yeah.
But the main of what we do is we ship the cars for you.
Yeah.
So you find one on eBay, the middle of the United States, we can arrange for that to be transported to the coast.
Okay.
Loaded in a container, all your documentation done.
So as someone wanting to buy a car, I don't do nothing?
You don't have to do anything. Yeah. That's the easy about it. We deal with US Customs, New Zealand Customs. Those are the two biggest hurdles.
What about things like quarantine? Because if there's spiders or anything like that in the car?
And that's pretty standard. A lot of the cars from America go through the quarantine inspection.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10 pass through fine. You've got your one that might need a steam clean or vacuum.
Okay.
But that's part of the process that we handle.
And you have people that do all that?
We have people that do all that. So we have a warehouse there.
Yeah. You have your own warehouse there?
We have our own warehouse.
Wow.
Yep. And so we have MPI, which is the quarantine people. They come out, inspect the cars, they determine what needs to be done. But generally, we handle all that, and you don't even need to know about that.
Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that can be a nightmare for a lot of people.
It can be. Yep. But when we're doing 20 cars from America a month,
it's 20 cars a month from America.
Yep.
Wow. That's because there's not just you in the country doing it. There's a lot of businesses.
I think we've probably got about 70 cars a month coming to the country.
Wow.
Just into Auckland alone.
Just from America.
Just from America.
Yeah.
And that can fluctuate. At the beginning of the year, we see 200 cars come through at the beginning of the year, and then that just fluctuates throughout the year.
And so the car arrives on the boat. They unload the container, or rather take the container off the boat. So for a lot of cases, the first time the person sees the car, when you open the container doors, that's the first time.
Very first time.
They've seen the car. Is it very exciting?
It is. It's exciting for me. We do so many cars, and I get excited about every single container we open. Because it's travelled 2 weeks from say LA, and the process in America takes maybe a week.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
It's a lot.
So it's 3 weeks sort of.
It's a long process, and you've spent your money at the beginning of it buying the car, and you're not actually going to see the car in the flesh until it gets here.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's great.
Well, so we know we're going to go down to the wharves and have a look at some cars coming out of their containers.
We've got a few good ones coming in there. I think you'll like.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool, man. I guess it's like a father seeing their son for the first time when they're born.
Exactly like that.
With you, with your little baby Jesse.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. Well, look, we're gonna start to show bits and pieces like this, on the screen that we're bringing up on your computer and that from the studio. So, well, Daniel, it's been really cool. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see Daniel on every episode from now on. He's going to be talking to you about cars that we bring in, how much they cost, how much you're looking to spend at the end of the day, and to get a car on the road. So that's a service we're going to do for you from the Hot Rod Show. Daniel, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you.
And it's been terrific having you on the show.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. As a bit of a teaser, here's a taster of the cars Daniel imports. Look at that. You can get one too. Now, if you're interested, give Daniel a call and discuss the compliance issues and any additional costs that may be incurred with bringing this vehicle into the country. Ooh, look at this one. Could you just imagine cruising Queen Street in this? Well, I certainly can. They got late model street machines. They'll point out all the details, so we'll be getting more in depth with the process of importing a car in season 2. So just stay tuned to this channel. But in the meantime, with regards to cost, you'll need to confirm all that compliance requirements with Daniel at Online Logistics.
got a vintage or a classic car that needs resuscitating, use a Century battery.
It's good. Hey, Doug here from the Hot Rod Show, and we're out on a Kiwispan New Zealand shed visit. And I got to tell you, we've come to a secret location that we're not going to tell you where, but this is an 8C Monza. It's an Alfa Romeo that they made from around 30 to 34, and everything on this car you see is made here, except the wheels, tyres, and the engine and gearbox, which you see on the other example that they've made here. But the frame, the chassis, the axles, the steering box, everything is made here on this car. This car, it's just, the fine detail that they've done. The motor meter, the thing that tells you how hot the engine is. This is made here. They make the little wee fuse boxes. All that, excuse me, all that's made here, and even little wee brass plaque in behind the radiator. That's made here. They make the radiators here. Well, they have the cores made somewhere else, but everything that you see is made here. Here's the bonnet latch. Hey, take a look at the bonnet latch. 14 pieces in there, 18 pieces. 18 pieces to make this bonnet latch. That's all made in this shed. How about that? This is a Kiwi guy doing the Kiwi thing in his shed. Here's one of the front axles that they make here. The detail in this thing, they machine it all down. It goes away and gets all x-rayed and crack tested and everything. This is one nearing completion, getting ready to be boxed up and sent overseas. The engines are brought in, but like I say, everything else is handmade on this car. It takes them 3 years to build, so get your order in now for 2018. I mean, look at this, it's gorgeous. Even the steering wheel is handmade and the horn button. These are a Grand Prix car from the early 30s. An original just sold for $7.2 million US. I'm not sure how much these replicas will set you back, but they sure are beautiful. Just look at the detail. Well, the engine in this one is a New Zealand-made engine. But there was only ever 12 of these cars made, and thanks to people like this, only 62 remain. But this is just a wonderful car. This is all hand built in a Kiwi shed, and this is the shed. I mean, it's not a big shed.
We're trying to take it to the next level at every step, and Mothers is a partner we trust.
Mothers really helps make our cars stand out.
It's genuine, it's authentic, and it's best in class.
We actually use Mothers wheel care products during our production process.
It's so easy to use. Just spray it on and wash off. It's just that simple.
Trusted and used by industry pros at Pirelli Tire North America, SMS Supercars, and HRE Performance Wheels. Mother's full line of wheel cleaners make cleaning any wheel a snap.
Hey everybody, you've seen this engine at the start of every show that we've had so far, and tonight we're going to be talking to the guy who actually owns the business where this engine was built at. And he's actually the owner too of this beautiful 23 T-bucket here. I mean, like, this is a serious engine, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Chrysler Hemi, and Eric, the guy who owns this, he's going to come on the show now, and he's going to tell us a lot about it. Eric, come on please. How you doing?
Yeah, come on, Doug.
Oh, I've known Eric for so long that that we used to call him Haggis, but he's Eric now.
You're putting it on TV.
Yeah, no. Do you want that on TV?
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. And so I've known Eric for many years, and I've known this tea bucket for a long time. I remember the first time I saw this tea bucket, it was at a rod run, and like a lot of people almost wet their pants when he pulled in, and because this is just something. It was just something out of the future, and something that you would only really see in an American show or on American roads, and that it was just spectacular.
It's a pretty old car now.
Yeah.
I built this back in 77, 78. it was first registered on the road and driven in 78, so that makes it about 37 years old now.
Yeah.
It's just a basic tea bucket, but it was built for just street use,
Yeah.
and also a little bit on the drag strip, and it's been on both.
Yeah.
And for the last 30 odd years, it's been on the street all the time.
Yeah. What do you think, Braden?
It's awesome, isn't it, Doug?
You think you could go drifting in this?
No.
No.
But we will talk about going down the drag strip.
This car run 10.8s or somewhere around the mid-10s, mid to high 10s, at around about 124 mile an hour.
Wow. And I understand that the Barracuda's actually been on the strip too.
Yeah, that car, we haven't pushed that to its limit yet, but that car's run 11.5s at 120 mile an hour.
Yeah, that's
So
fast.
that's got a reasonable bit more there to come out of it if we ever wanted to push it to that level.
Oh, wow.
What about your Hemi though? You know, like have you gone to the limit? You know, like apart from putting a supercharger and all that stuff on it, how much more can you do inside?
No, there's 580 horsepower in that motor now.
Yeah.
As you see it.
It's done. That'd pull the skin off a rice pudding.
Oh, yeah, because the car's only, the weight of the car is only about just over 1,000 kg. So you can imagine the acceleration is pretty phenomenal. Many years ago down at Tamaranui, we ran down there at the standing quarter, and we did a flying quarter. And we went through the flying quarter in 6.4 seconds at an average speed of 160 mile an hour.
Wow.
To do that, I had to take the windscreen right out. and back then we used to race with a small 6-inch screen, which was legal for this class, but even the wind pressure on that was too high, so I took the screen right out. I loosened my harness and I lay down in here, put my head in here, because the wind pressure was so strong. But that run just about killed me. So it was pretty scary at the far end.
If we can get the camera in and have a look at the detail in the cab here.
You've got a loop on the accelerator pedal. Is that for drag racing?
Yeah. The loop is there, part of the safety rules now.
Is it in case you get scared and want to take your foot off? It doesn't let you.
In other words, if the throttles were to jam, you can lift your foot and pull.
Yeah.
Pull
the throttle
on. Yeah. So the wood detail on this car, what?
Yeah, my father was a cabinet maker joiner, and my father did the wood for me all those years ago.
Like West Auckland's Engine Recondition is the name on the side of your car, because that's your business, we know.
That's the business,
yeah. And that's what allows, because like you've got all the documentation, for these engines from from Chrysler as well, haven't you?
So this setup is very similar to this. We've got 2 Chrysler engines. Got the same transmission in both cars. It's got a Torque Flight 727, and in this car it's got a Ford 9-inch diff. Yeah. Whereas in this car it's got a Dana 60.
Yeah. So no, like your transmission, like your Torque Flight, is it a good transmission? Is it strong?
Extremely strong.
Yeah. Extremely
strong. It's a 3-speed trans. This one's been manualised, so it doesn't change like a normal automatic. Neither does this one. You have to change it manually. So it's a bit like having a manual gearbox without a clutch.
Okay.
So wherever you put that gear lever, you're going to go there.
That's what you're going to, and go there very quickly?
Oh, very quickly. You can't even blink that fast.
Yeah, really.
One thing that stands out, Eric, is your paint job. Where does the...
That's actually a Todd Motors colour that came out on, believe it or not, some of the Hillman Hunters and that. It's called Aquarius. And it's Avengers. There may have even been the odd Valiant in that colour. Oh, yeah. And I really liked the colour back then.
And is that the original colour? So
that's the original colour, yeah.
Wow. Go over with us, Eric, about what's actually done to the motor inside and out.
Well, they're quite a strong motor anyway. So these were actually built for NASCAR racing by Chrysler back in the early 60s. And then NASCAR made them, banned them, and they made them they had to have so many cars on the street.
Oh, okay.
Street cars. I think from memory that number was 500. So they detuned them to a certain extent. In other words, lowered the compression, different camshaft, and put them into Dodgers and Plymouths. Oh, yeah. And that's where it come from. So it's basically, as you see it, it's basically a race motor just set up for street.
Yeah.
So they're cross-bolted in the mains. They've got a real strong crankshaft and conrods in it. This one's got what they call a Kellogg crank, which was their pro stock crank back then. It's got Manly I-beam rods, so I've put a lot of more aftermarket equipment in it. That's a lot stronger than even what Chrysler put them in, in them originally.
Wow.
Got the induction system as a YN tunnel ram with twin 850 double pumpers. So it's got
major
all
power.
it needs.
It's got more than enough.
Yeah.
But it's sensible power. That car is a dream to drive on the street. It's like Marion's car.
Oh, yeah?
They hear the sound, how they sound very wild and all, but they're both real easy to drive and real a joy.
Wow, awesome. How about we start her up, eh, Doug?
Oh,
what do you reckon?
I think we better let Eric
Put your
start it
ear
up.
down here, Doug.
No. These headers, one reason why it's making a lot of noise is because these headers are uncapped, which is taking the back plate off there so the noise doesn't, go through the exhaust pipe. So that's why it's just a tad louder than it would normally be.
We'll start her up, eh? Doug, what do you
I can
reckon?
do, yeah.
Here? Cool. This will blow your beard off you, Doug.
Braden, I'm not shaving it.
Awesome.
Eric, this is beautiful, eh? Well, thank you so much for bringing it here. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Doug. It's a pleasure.
This is just an exceptional hot rod. It's a classic hot rod. You can't get any more hot rod than this. So all you people out there, if you wanted to see a real hot rod on the show, here's a real hot rod, and it's just fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Marion.
Thanks so much for coming, Marion, and here's a bottle of Mother's to take home with you. Yeah, and thanks for bringing your beautiful Plymouth along. Thank you.
And here we are with Eric, and we're giving Eric his little bottle of Mother's car polish. This is Canuba wax polish from Brazil, and it's about the best thing you can get off the Mother's shelf of products. Eric, you belong to Wheels Incorporated, and we just want to highlight the fact belonging to a car club, a hot rod club, is very beneficial to a family. You get a lot of outings. They're good people. They get together, they raise money for good causes, they drink cups of coffee, have little bottles of water, and drive beautiful cars like this. So there's not really much more to say except start your engines!